Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another episode of The Score, the show that still hasn't figured out a good way to intro itself. This month, we've got some tech news, casting announcements, and a discussion about the importance of properly marketing yourself online. This is going to be a fun one, folks, so let's jump right in. It's time to settle the score. As everyone watching this probably already knows, E3 just ended, and there isn't possibly enough time here to do a rundown of everything. And plenty of others have done a way better job of it already, but if you really want to know my thoughts on that topic, you can follow this link to a discussion on the topic, and since I literally just started off this episode with a shameless plug, here's a quick punchline for you. Yeah. I got nothing. My bad. I just wanted to get that out of the way so no one said, well, you didn't have any E3 news. So, crazy transition? I don't often talk about politics, but this particular topic was too funny to pass up. In fact, I even hired a one-man band to assist me with this joke. So here goes. This is going to make up for the lack of a punchline last time, I promise. An image leaked recently of a stock photo used in Hillary Clinton's ad campaign that was also featured on ads about syphilis rates in Oregon. The internet found this hilarious enough on its own, taking to Twitter with a man enough for Hillary hashtag campaign mocking her team's choice, but all I have to say is that it seems like even Hillary supporters are feeling the burn. Told you it was a good joke. Would have been better before Bernie dropped out, though. Stupid monthly news show dating my punchlines. In vaguely related to E3 news, Pokemon Go was finally shown off in all its glory and was even kind of given a release date of July. Which means soon kids will start having a reason to go outside again. Wait, who am I kidding? The kids are going to be inside playing the new Call of Duty game. This is totally for adults to walk around town waiting for their wrists to flash colors and give each other that look that signifies it's time to battle. What a good time to be old enough to drive, eh? And in some really exciting casting news for anyone rooting for more diversity in movies, John Boyega, the guy who told all the racists to shove it and then stole the show in Star Wars last year, has been cast as the lead in another high-profile sci-fi movie, Pacific Rim 2. If it ever comes out, that is. Yes, Hollywood's resident black nerd is jumping from Jedi to Jaeger, and I couldn't be happier. Have you seen that guy's Tumblr account? He's perfect. And on top of that, Donald Glover has been cast in the new Spider-Man movie in an unspecified role. For those that don't know, this is amazing for two reasons. For one, he's fantastic in everything he's in, and I've been rooting for his success since I watched his Derek comedy sketches on YouTube in high school. Secondly, this is the man who was the inspiration for Miles Morales, the current black half, black Mexican version of Spider-Man, who's become the Spider-Man in comic continuity, though Peter is still around too. So, of course, everyone is freaking out that Donald is playing Miles on the big screen since he already voiced him in the Ultimate Spider-Man show. The dude is in his 30s, though, and Miles was 13 when he got his powers. I don't think they're going to flip the script and have a Miles older than Peter in the movie. I think it's more likely a cameo nod to his inspiration for the franchise, or possibly setting up Miles in another movie by having Donald related to that character's origin. But that's the discussion for another video. For now, I just want to say that between this month's news and the Black Panther casting from last month, this really is a good time for diversity in the nerd culture at least, even if the Academy still doesn't see it. So, to talk about this on a more personal note, I want to pass it off to the resident black nerd here, Nero the Hero, to share his thoughts.
Thanks for that, Zero. What up, everybody? Nero the Hero here, and it is true, ladies and gentlemen. The black nerd is on the rise, and I am loving every single minute of it. Now, I will admit something to you guys. Growing up as a kid, I didn't read a lot of comic books, but I did watch a ton of Saturday morning cartoons based on the comic book superheroes. And one thing that I definitely noticed was that black superheroes were very few and far between. I mean, I had my favorites and whatnot, but most of the time they were either somebody's sidekick or just some sort of one-off cameo to be immediately forgotten. So let's just say there were no prominent black superheroes in my childhood. That was until the year 2000 when Static Shock first aired on television, and that pretty much changed everything for me as far as my perception on black superheroes. I mean, Not only was the main character a black kid, but his sidekick was a white kid. Am I right? But anyways, I digress. It only makes sense that we're seeing more black superheroes in the movies nowadays because, I mean, if you think about it, African American culture is just so ingrained with American culture nowadays, coupled with the fact that superhero movies are simply more popular. It only makes sense that we're seeing more of an increase of black superheroes in the movies that are taking a major role. And we are getting some pretty awesome superheroes. We have War Machine. We have Black Panther. We have Falcon. There's Finn from the new Star Wars movies, who I feel like is one of the most interesting of the newest characters that have been introduced. I mean, coupled with the fact that John Boyega is a super duper ultra mega nerd just makes it even better. But anyways, so what do we have to look forward to? We have the Black Panther movie that's been announced. There's also, I've also heard that John Boyega has been cast in Pacific Rim 2. I mean, giant monsters, giant robots, duking it out. John Boyega, main character. I'm just saying. and word on the street is Donald Glover has been cast in the new Spider-Man movie. So we'll see how that develops. We'll see who he ends up playing. But anyways, I'm going to cut this off now before I get any more sidetracked. Back to you, Zero.
Static Shock was the best. I'd be your white sidekick any day, Nero. Finally, on to something I find really cool. Eidos, the company behind the Deus Ex franchise, has teamed up with a Razer Electronics company and Open Bionics, an actual prosthetics company, to create some of the bionic parts from the actual games. The original working prototype they've shown off already is the Atom arm, modeled after the one Adam Jensen has, with Eidos in charge of designing the prosthetics to game accuracy, Razer handling the retail side of giving people the chance to try out the parts in a virtual space before they buy them, and Open Bionics, of course, are the ones bringing the parts to life. While this might sound scary from a transhuman debate standpoint, especially if you think of examples like the movie Ex Machina, or the Deus Ex games themselves, as someone currently trying out augmented hearing to fix my hearing disability, I think it's brilliant that a video game company is ushering in real change in the world. This could be the first step in prosthetic limbs becoming commonplace and sleek, rather than the bulky, stiff limbs most people have now. Though it is a bit scary they're giving away the blueprints in hopes that other prosthetic companies work on them too, because that is where the danger could come in the wrong hands. For now, though, I'm super intrigued by the idea of realistic augmented prosthetics. I'd love to go from being half-deaf to having super hearing, or ditching the glasses in favor of X-ray vision, or cutting off my hand and getting one of those sweet replacements that Coulson has in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The options are endless, people! Alright, you've probably heard enough of my ranting about these things, so let's move on to a rant with another person. Once again, if you feel like the score has been sufficiently settled, feel free to end the video here and have a wonderful day. Otherwise, follow this link, or go to the description, and I will see you in the next video where I discuss the importance of marketing in this crazy online world with this month's guest, Nero the Hero. He does marketing for a living, folks. This is going to be good.
As far as like marketing yourself, I would say before you do anything, you need to establish your brand. Because whether or not it's like a YouTube channel or even if it's just like a Twitter account or something like that, you need to brand yourself and you need to do it consistently, because otherwise when you start marketing yourself online, you're just kind of throwing out a bunch of random stuff.